Okay, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. On this video, I will do on the trade review of the past week trade that I took, which is on the narrative building that I have mentioned previously. Okay, so this is the trade. I think there is a multiple four or five trade this week that I took. So as you can see, this is the TradeZilla journal which I use on, and I'm trading it on the FTMO challenge. So all this trade recorded is on the FTMO challenge, which I will explain further details lah on the maybe next video. So on this video, we focus on the trade review first, which is the trade I took. So the first one is this on Monday. Okay, this is the first trade I took, which is on Monday. As you can see, I have a template for myself to review. I do the recording on why I took the trade, how I did it, how is the trade going through, and what I did to improve my trading lah. So the first one, always on the bias. I will try to analyze my bias first, because most of the time I realize if my bias is correct, I better focus on the correct side so that my odds of winning is higher. So based on the narrative, I have mentioned that either I wait for the price to pull back to demand zone or the price push upward. I will join either side. Okay, so today the price shows upward momentum, which which is coincidentally on the time window of London Open. Okay, London Open, we saw a sweep below. We saw a sweep below the Asia high. Exactly this sweep. I have set an alert, okay, on this. And after the sweep, there is always when I see this kind of sweep on London Open or New York Open, I will wait for the confirmation first. But it's on the low time frame lah. So the confirmation has shown me that there is a break of structure and also with a strong momentum. And therefore, I decided to enter directly. Okay, because uh, I think I wanted to pass the challenge quickly also lah. Like I have mentioned here, this setup I consider A plus. Okay, because all this criteria has met. And then on emotional wise, I'm quite neutral on that. I'm just a bit of eager to take trade. I'm eager to find trade so that I can pass the FTMO quickly. On trade management wise, after I enter, it's all good. I waited for the second break of structure, which is this line you can see here. After this break of structure, I pull my stop loss to BE. So I have to protect myself. So this trade management I think is good. And then I hold until the New York session. Okay, normally I will aim for 3R only. 3R, which is this line, but in order to pass that, I think I'm almost there. It's around 6% like that. In order to pass that, I have to aim for 4R, 4.7 or 4.8R. Okay, so I hold it. I hold it till New York session. I did move my stop loss up to 3R. I think right below 3R. As you can see, I show you this chart. I think it's, yeah, when it reached 3R here, I think I moved my stop loss right below here and I managed it quite tightly. So in case if the price reverse, I still have my 3R there, right? So yeah, I moved my stop loss in case I still have it, and ended up my TP was hit. I think it went even higher. So after my TP hit, this is the trade which I passed my first phase lah for FTMO. Okay, as you can see, this is the ending TP chart which I snapshotted. And yeah, this is how I review my trade also. Is my bias correct? Yes, indeed there is bullish price action with momentum. Did I follow my system? I executed nicely. I waited for all the criteria which I need, which is the price sweep, break of structure, momentum, time window is also correct, and I followed the bias, which is the trend. And my emotional is a little bit excited since I wanted to pass the challenge. I target for 4.5. Wow, I'm uncertain at that time a little bit. Uh, but yeah, it's for the challenge actually. So on managing the trade, I did quite well also. I moved my BE, I moved my stop loss, and I protect my risk. Okay, so what I think on this trade is actually quite good. Nothing much to comment about it. Yeah, this is basically the first trade I took. Okay, let's move on to the second one. Okay, for the second trade is on Wednesday. I did not trade on Tuesday because Tuesday has too much news, as you guys also know. I think it's the NFP, the non-farm payroll news coming out. That is quite a big news for that day. So normally the price will just chop around, and then during the news it will just fly either way. So that's part of my rule. I don't trade the rules. I don't trade the news. So I skip the entire Tuesday lah. I think I did look at the chart, but I don't find any chance to enter because it's very volatile and very choppy. I don't want to take the risk. So yeah, I did skip Tuesday and I just move on to Wednesday. So on Wednesday, the price, as you can see, after the NFP news, the price did pull back very very strongly and even broke that day high, that day low. Right? You see the price push up after the news and it just came back down. So I'm looking at this as a pullback trade, I think. Wait, let me see. So yeah, this trade, it went to a demand zone. This is the demand zone which is on the 4H, right? I think. Yeah, this is the 4H demand zone which we have mentioned about during the narrative building. So I'm expecting reaction here. I'm definitely expecting reaction here, especially this is also on the London session. So my bias is on bearish after Tuesday, trading the pullback. Okay, so I'm expecting price to pull back up here and go down again. So price broken high on Tuesday, sweep and did a strong selling momentum, continue today until London session. Okay, it hit the 4H demand zone. Therefore, I'm trading a pullback for a continuation sell. So I'm expecting this demand to push to certain supply zone and then sell it back down. Okay, so it's a counter trend trade lah. Okay, in this case, for the setup quality, I will grade it at B plus because it's a counter trend. Normally, counter trend is quite risky, and I'm also countering a strong selling momentum. No liquidity because it's just reacting on a demand zone. Yeah, it's just a strong 4H demand zone. Actually, emotional wise, I'm quite nervous because I'm trading counter trend that time. But yeah, I'm quite eager to get my challenge lah, because that's the thing. Okay, let me review further on the trade management side after my entry. You see, I did entry on a demand zone, a low time frame sweep, and I saw this push. Okay, I saw this 2-minute confirmation push. It broke a 2-minute structure. Therefore, I entry as soon as possible. So after I entry, I aim for 2R because I'm trading a pullback. Normally on a pullback on my rule, I only aim for 2R. And I move my BE after, as you can see, I've moved my BE after this break. Okay, after this break, I did move my BE and the 2R is here. But on the middle, I've mentioned here, seeing buying momentum is quite strong. I went to adjust my 2R to 3R. Okay, but unfortunately, the price did came back to my BE. This is quite unfortunate because you see almost there to my 3R target. And price almost hit my TP and was more than 2R. But yeah, and that moment is almost pre New York session. I'm also having my dinner, and I did not set the alert, so I did not know the price have reached 2R. If I could have known, I will manage very tightly here. Okay, so this trade is actually, let's see what I say. Bias wise, is still consider correct because it's bullish, it's bearish on the 1H. After the sell down, it broke multiple structure here. So I'm considered bearish in the low time frame. Okay. Did I follow my system? Yes, I did follow, except that I moved my TP. See, you can say got greedy and move it to 3R. It led to hitting my BE first. If I took 2R, I would have taken the TP already. What mistake I did on this trade is that I moved my TP, which I've mentioned multiple times here, and my BE and stop loss could be improved. Oh, this is one more thing here. Look at this. I saw a 5-minute or 2-minute. In 5-minute, you can see it too. Let me show you. Look, at 5-minute, you can clearly see a zone here, which I saw it too. But my BE is right above this zone. So even the price pullback here, I would expect this zone to react upward if my bias is still correct. I should have put my stop loss right below here, or even I call it a BE for a minor loss, so that I give the price a chance to test this zone whether it holds or not. Okay, but ended up it really did hold. So yeah, if I would have do that, I would not take that BE instead because the price did went up. See, the price after tested it went up. It even hit my 3R. It even went even higher. So yeah, that's the mistake. What is it? What I can improve from this is that I follow my plan. If I trade pullback, always aim for 2R. It doesn't matter. Okay, if it go more than that, it's never mind because I counter trend. Just for the pullback, it's better to aim for 2R. Okay, if next time, like I mentioned just now, if next time really consider moving my stop loss to BE, if I see any, it's better to be right below the zone. Okay. instead of just break even. I could lose a little, but at least I'm right on the trend. Okay, so this trade is a break even trade lah. Then we move on to the next one. Okay, on the next trade, the third trade I took, which is on the same day also, is exactly the next trade after the previous trade. Okay, so yes, like I have mentioned on previous trade, this was because I saw a push of the price, which is the beginning of my trade. It went to this 10-minute supply zone. Then it got a reaction very strongly to the downside towards the demand zone, this demand zone which I've mentioned. Okay, and I'm that time I took this trade was because of this entry. I don't want to mention about the demand zone first. Because of this, there is a strong reaction from this 10-minute supply zone. As beginning, I was trying to trade the pullback, right? So I'm expecting this to maybe sell down further towards this lower 15-minute demand zone, a supply zone to a demand zone, right? So yeah, this is there is a 15-minute lower demand zone here, yeah, which is this zone here. You can see on this zone here. I'm expecting price to go lower. So yeah, this was basically the setup, bearish. Okay, now price did hit a 15-minute or 10-minute supply zone and reacted strong selling, expecting price to test lower on the 4H demand zone, which is inside the 4H, but a 15-minute refined demand zone. Okay, so I took this trade. Price hit this one. The setup is this. Price is this. Confirmation too late. Break of structure. A new 15-minute supply zone created here, which is this one. I tried to short here to go down. But the thing is, like I mentioned on the previous trade, I did not realize, or I actually did realize it. Okay, let me see. We continue first. The setup quality is B+. Since price is selling, but the pullback to entry is reacting from a 5-minute demand zone 2, yeah, which I mentioned just now. It might be a zone that push higher. So I don't qualify this as a perfect A+ setup because it is a reaction from a 5-minute zone to this price, to the entry price that I wanted to go in. So it is not secure, it's quite risky. A bit uncertain, yeah, price is chopping around that day. And on my trade management side, there's no trade management because it stopped up immediately. Look at this. When the price came to my entry, I left the limit order open and it just shoot up. Okay, so on this case, what I was trying to say is that, yeah, look at my mistake I review here. I did not wait for the confirmation. Price had a long move down. Should not have left the order open already. This is my rule actually. If the price has been moving here, if I would have entry, I would have entry around here already. But there is no chance for me to entry because the leg is too long. The confirmation is too long and it's already away from my entry for quite some range. I think around 20-30% already. So if that has happened, I should not have left the order open. I would have waited for the confirmation again. And since the price already tested a demand zone, I should let the price hit the supply zone and wait for the confirmation to enter. Okay, so I should wait for the price. Let me see here. Okay, I should wait for the price to come back here. Come back here. This is the zone, right? I should wait for the price to come back here and do this before I enter. Hold on. Okay, and then yeah, that was one of my mistake lah. I did not control my emotion. Was quite frustrated on the previous trade because of the BE, because of the 2R. I moved it to 3R. And yeah, therefore I think I'm not clear on this trade. I already hesitated actually when the price coming up. I know that I should cancel my order and wait for a confirmation, but I'm looking at the chart, I'm looking at the trade. I just want to get entry. Then I just leave the order open. So yeah, I did not wait for it. Already hesitated. I saw the demand zone tested, but I still go on with the limit order. Already thought of cancelling order, but I did not do it. So what I can improve of this is that if the price already moved from too late, confirmation for quite some range, which is here. If already moved quite some range, do not leave my order open anymore. Just wait for another confirmation. Okay, remind myself that every trade is unique. The outcome is unique. Be objective on why I take the trade. Don't dwell on the previous trade anymore. What done is done. Okay, this is basically a lost trade for me because I couldn't manage it anyway. It just shot up. My stop loss is hit immediately. Just a few candles, I think a few minutes only. Okay, and this is the third trade. Let's move on to the next.